Okay, let me go ahead and just kick off and say, everybody can hear me okay? You can see me okay? Let's work through interactive emojis, thumbs up, you love something, you can't hear me, raise your hands. So we'll be able to coordinate this call just as smoothly as possible. We will do a Q&A. I'll pause to do Q&A here and there. So I do see a hands up. Is there something we can answer first, and then I can get started? Is that an accident hands raise? Okay. Well, it's really amazing, and I'm very excited that we had over 50 people that registered to join the session from all over Southeast Asia, and I think we have a few from the States as well. So thank you all for joining and being really interested in this program. And I just want to be able to first introduce myself. My name is Tanya Trunk, and I'm an executive coach with over 24, 25 years of experience in this work. I'm also organizational design development leadership consultant. I was born in Vietnam, but I grew up pretty much since I was 7 years old in the US and California, and worked in Silicon Valley for 25 plus years. And recently, in the past 5 years, I had a chance to go to Vietnam. I was recruited by Techcombank, a local Vietnam private bank here, one of the most successful one, but they was looking to and grow, locally in Vietnam and in the region. So with that, I had a chance to spend some time working and getting to know Vietnam, getting to know Asia. I actually worked and traveled around the world in 20 plus countries, and from Japan, Europe, Asia, Africa, pretty much every continent, Australia. And having spent some time here in Southeast Asia and in Vietnam, I just found, wow, there is so much amazing potentials and amazing talent here, as well as in Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, over Southeast Asia. So I'm quite excited to see what I can do to offer my experience and my knowledge, being blessed, having to have a chance to work in the Bay Area. So with that, I spent a couple of years doing research, talking to a lot of people. And in that, what I've learned and heard is coaching industry profession in Asia here has been growing, and there are many talented leaders and coaches that have been in this work for past 10 years. It's been growing. But what I heard also is that the exposure to further build their skill sets, or exposure to really working with C-level or global standards is limited. So in partnership with some of the local coaches here, leaders here, as well as my community of executive coaches with 25, 30 years experience in the Bay Area in California, Silicon Valley, I have recruited them to join me to build a program that can help accelerate and elevate and enhance current executive coaches here in the area. Now, what does that look like? I want to be able to share that with you today. And we'll take some questions a little bit toward the end. And I'll pause if somebody have a lot of questions, yeah? Sorry, let me check one more time if I'm getting more people that have been requesting to join. I may have missed a few people. We're okay for now. All right. Okay. Let me to this page. Okay. So we will share this landing page after the session, so you get to scroll through and take a look at more details. But we built this so then we get a chance to it's easier for us to talk it through. What is the objective purpose of the program? What does it look like? What are some of the criteria, qualifications we're looking for in this Executive Coach Accelerator Program? In short, we call it ECAP. So just if we keep saying ECAP, now you know what we're talking about. So as I mentioned before, in my quick introduction, the purpose is for us to provide exposures and connection with local regional coaches in Southeast Asia to seasoned coaches with 20 plus years experience in the industry from abroad. And there are some here locally that's also amazing. So we're looking to, I've recruited quite a few numbers of people in my community, and they have trusted me in leading this program with their support and partnership to ensure that we provide the best quality development program for the coaches here. It is going to be a intensive, immersive 6 months of practicum programs. I'm not here to train you to be a coach. What I would like to be able to do with this program, as I've shared with some of the folks, is you may have been trained as a coach to, my analogy is like you've been swimming in a swimming pool and you're feeling very confident, which is great. And then some of you take that confidence and went swimming in a bigger lake. And you're like, okay, it's bigger. I can swim this much, but I feel pretty confident. But with executives, our executives are not sitting in a comfortable small pool or, a calm lake. They are, for startup, probably swimming in rushing whitewater river, right? You never know what's things are going very fast and flowing. And as an executive coach, if you haven't had a chance to swim in that rushing river, it'll be a bit of a challenge for you to understand what's going on there and how do you even calm yourself. So to calm the executive or hold the right safety space for them to be able to breathe and to slow down and to make better decisions, right? And then there's some of us probably either working as a corporate, in a corporate role, or we are, saying that we're working as an executive coach, but they're in a whole ocean where the unknowns are everywhere. Below you, above you, you're out in the middle of nowhere. Could be tidal waves coming, current, undercurrent. And how do you help them with that, managing through that? If you yourself haven't been able to be in it, to practice yourself, to save yourself as well as them, or otherwise you may be doing harm to yourself and to your clients, right? So why this one I say it's immersive is I know there are amazing programs out there that are training you all or have trained you to be coaching in leadership or life or executive business, all that. But what we want to do in this program is having you take all that you've learned and just put it into practice deeper, so then you can build that extra higher level confidence. So when you're in this rushing river, you already know what it looks like, what it feels like. So when you see your clients struggling, you yourself can calm yourself, be in that space and help them. Okay. So I have been able to talk to a few executives locally, the C-level. They're willing to participate to be coached by those who are in the program. So I'm bringing real executives into the program that you will actually practice coaching with, okay? And then you get mentoring from the seasoned coaches that's in my community that I shared. So this is going to be intensive, like every 2 weeks, and you're going to have practicums and things that you will do, okay? So these are kind of objectives that I mentioned earlier, is that to upskill you. And the preparing for the full program coach of a leadership coach, what it is as I believe executive coaches, we are one of the most effective tools, resources to help executives, C-level, their leadership team to accelerate in their decision making, their leadership growth. So for me to be able to prepare us as executive coaches in the region to ensure that we are ready to help guide and coach them. And like I mentioned, Russian River on the ocean, I'm preparing you so that next year, when I run the full leadership program for the execs, the 9-month program, you are already prepared and can be a part of applying for that program. Okay. So in addition to that, I hope this first set of cohort that we bring in, you all will be able to come back the following year and be a mentor coach for the next level of cohort coming in, right? This is a long-term effort. It's not a one-time thing that I'm just doing. It's not making me money or the company money. This is me really, my team, really wanting to build up the executive leadership, executive coaches in the region. Okay. So as I mentioned before, it is a cohort approach, which we take about between maximum 25, but ideally about 20 in this cohort. So between 15 and 20 would be ideal. There is a certification process in this, and what I'm building is this brand, this program, that those that come out from this program will be received in the community, in the industry, as the highest quality and credible level professional executive coaches. Along with some other trainings that you do, but this one is where when you walk away, people will say, if you've been trained in this program, you really know your stuff and you are really an effective executive coach. So that's my goal. And the people who are joining us, it's on the same mission. So benefits for coaches, as I mentioned, we want you to be able to master what you have learned and dive deeper and elevate it higher than currently where you're at. Earlier, as I mentioned, to be a part of the community where when we have executives that are challenging or in a challenging phase of their career or their life, that we know that we can vet that you guys have been through our program and we can vet that you are at the quality and match you with the right client. So this is kind of the detail of the programs I mentioned. We are seeking for those that combine have coaching, leadership, or business coaching, not life coaching, business or leadership coaching and management experience combined of about 10 years. Right? Like I mentioned, between 20 and 25. The fees for this program, I might be missing somebody. Give me a sec. I think somebody's asking for. The fee for this program, I was able to get a big discount from some of the coaches and facilitators that is helping us in this program. So they're giving us some discounts. So I was able to cut down the fees for those participants. Okay. The start time, I will kick it off. The program will kick off end of May 24th. And then the first workshop session starts on June 7th. So I'll share the schedule with you all in a bit for your kind of processing. At the mode, it is going to be both in person and online. There's some content that we want you to kind of either review or process it here in your head, and then go do some kind of practice on your own before you meet the practicum session with your cohort, and where we will have mentor coaches there. And as you practice, cohort will put you in the hot seat. As you practice, we'll be there to observe and coach you through the process. And you have mentor coaches that provide 1 hour a month for you. So that's 6 hours of mentor coaches from the seasoned executive coaching mentors in the program. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, there's between 10 to 12 sessions. There, I have a couple more sessions that are really valuable, so I may add them into as a supplement into the program as well. And some of the content, the workshops online may be between 2 to 3 hours, and if they're on site, it's a full day. Okay. Let me pause here to see if anyone have any questions yet. Okay. Okay. So let me just finish on topic. Okay. Thank you. So we have an application process, which we'll share the link at the end. And what we're requesting, I mean, this, I think for us, what we see is if you have at least 5 years of leadership or executive coaching experience, 5 years of management, you would be more prepared to be in the to be ready to have a deep dive and elevating, upskilling yourself to the next level. My goal here is not, I'm not trying to be picky for the sake of just being picky, but I am trying to ensure that you are ready and your success is really important in this program, because your success will be the executive, your client success, right? But your success is also going to be representing and building up the credibility and integrity of executive coaches as a profession in this region. So this first set of cohort, there's a kind of a big big space of responsibility, and I need all of your help, right? Is to how do we build our brand, our profession as executive coaches to be quote unquote credible, legit in the eyes of our potential clients, which are C-level executives, you know, in the big companies. Because right now, as you all know, coaching industry is a bit everywhere. Everybody's calling themselves a coach, or you know, their qualification not quite there, but their labeling is all over the place. So I'm hoping what we can do here is narrow down before executive coaches, business coaches, is to be legitimized, to be viewed and viewed as a valuable asset, a valuable resource for C-level or VP level, their direct reports. Okay, we all know Asia, Southeast Asia is a up and coming region of economic growth and possibly a shift in power of economic power or influence in the world. And the question is, how do we show up? How do we show up as Asia, as leaders of influencing the world in many different space, right? And what I hope is all of you can join me in this mission as to let's prep our current and future leaders to make better decisions for the whole, to help, you know, improve the region and globally. So yes, all this is connected to a bigger vision here. So as I mentioned earlier, the learning approaches, you will learn things online, offline. We'll set you up with your own practice, but also with your peers, you know, learning buddies, you have practicums, and then there's skills or being in the hot seat, putting you in the river. So those are on-site sessions, and we have 3 official practicums that we need you to be at, as along with some of the offline sessions. And then, like I mentioned earlier, you have 6 hours of mentor coaching from our mentors, right? Some may ask, what kind of topics do you have? Are you offering? So this is our tentative, almost final schedule. of the topics that we would address. Things like deep dive into emotional intelligence, NLP, and we actually were able to align it with a master coach in this space. She has a PhD working through psychodrama as an influence in this work. And she just happened to be here in June 7th, or the day we're coordinated with her. So we are kicking off with this kind of intensive, already somatic work in emotional intelligence. And so this is the first session. Then we have Marianne, who will work through moods awareness and how that influence your coaching and your clients. There's somatic work in person, owning yourself, building self-confidence from executive coach who have worked in an intensive type of jobs or career before, which was a firefighter and leading fire fighting emergencies. So how do you manage yourself and be able to make decisions quickly under stress, extreme stress, through building your own confidence? We are finalizing, trying to work through the Lego series play in regards to connection to understanding and building emotional intelligence. We have coaching presence that we'll be working through active or deep listening. We have self-awareness deep dive, in which is where we will bring you into the practicum with everything you have learned before, those couple months before, and then we'll start deep diving into the practice. And some of these practice sessions is where we would invite an executive, whether it can be the person will be online or be in person, where you will actually be coaching an executive, with a practice, right? Some will be in private space online. Some will be, open in an open fishbowl mode, right, where we all can observe and learn from. We talk about building trust, building space, and then we also want to introduce you into building some business acumen. So we're working with some of the C-level leaders and execs in the area that are willing to come and share more about their challenges and a little bit on the business side. So you will get some insight about that. And then there's graduation ceremony at the end. You also have an assessment and the last practicum at the end on everything that you have learned. So this is kind of the general tentative schedule that we have so far in the topics that we believe will help bring you to the next level. Now, of course, if you're reading this, you're like, oh, I've done that. I build trust. It's like, don't look at just what the title topic is. It's who that will be facilitating and guiding you. Maybe you may say it's the same topic. We all know about the iceberg model, right? And some of you may have learned already the next deep level down below the surface. But what we want to do is take you even deeper and deeper, right? So keep that in mind as you're reading kind of this generic kind of planning document that I'm doing here. That's kind of where, oops. Did I stop sharing? So sorry. Let me share again. Okay, so go back to here. Okay. So you all, this is the schedule I was talking about. I'm not sure why I was trying to share this page. Okay. So this, if I wasn't sharing earlier, my apologies, but this is what I've been talking about for the past 5 minutes. Is this the plan, schedule, tentative dates, and topics? Okay, and then the facilitators, who are, like I said, from the States, Australia, or a couple of local few folks here as well. Okay. So the system that we will work through to help you track and I guess you can say register, but really because you're in the cohort, this program, so you will go through all of them. But we do understand sometimes this emergency, you're not able to step into a certain workshop or you need to step out. So we have a system that we will be using to track. So let me introduce the mentors, and then Van, you're on the system. You're here, Van.
Yeah, I'm here. Yes.
Thank you. So let me do a quick intro of this, and then I will hand it over to you. You can just do a quick introduction about the system, so then the folks online can kind of be aware that we will be leveraging a online platform to help track. I just want to do a quick introduction here. Like I mentioned, Dr. Gary Woolman, communication transformation coach with his PhD. John Christie, as I mentioned, was a gentleman that I said worked with high stakes, intensive stressful environment. Linda, I think many of you may already know from the Vietnam in coach company, where she trained coaching and executive coaching. Linnea, she is also an executive coach from the Bay Area. Mary Ann she was actually my coach from 20 years ago. So she's amazing, and I'm very excited that she's able to join us on this program here this time. I also have Timmy Holland that's joining. I'm excited that she can be a part of this because her schedule is quite busy. Same with Mai Coy. She's here and she was an executive coach, but she'll also be a mentor coach here. Tanya Monstaff, amazing coach and working with all of my executive coaches. They have worked with companies you probably are using their apps or know about, like from Google to Facebook to PayPal. They all been around when Silicon Valley started, and just imagine all the people, the executive, the leaders now that they have touched their life, even like back then, or building their capabilities to lead a lot of their businesses nowadays. So this is the powerhouse of executive mentor coach you'll be working with. We also have, like I mentioned, some of our honorary guest facilitators that will come in facilitate some key parts for us and like business acumen in this space. So with that, can I ask, I'll hand it over to you, Van. Could you do a quick sharing on your platform?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, Chitanya. Hi everyone, my name is Van. I'm a CEO founder of a company called Smarter, basically a HR tech platform, right? Let me share my screen real quick so you know what's going on. Screen. Okay. So first of all, after the call, we're gonna share you the link so you can learn a little bit more about how to sign up for the programs. So this is the page that you can go and book your package for the training. Like Tanya said, we already negotiate with the owner of the coach to give a very good pricing for this. So you book in here, it goes straight into Stripe, international gaming payment gateway. So you can actually book it and you can just pay, right? So you can use your Visa card for pay for this. So that's it to sign up for it. You can, I think a part of the program, Tanya want you to sign up for the form and fill in a little bit of your information before to kick off the program. So you maybe want to sign up this as well. But when you actually process the payment, we will know, and you can go to our platform and study. And you're going to receive a login account. You go to your learner profile and you can have access to the content. Real quick on this one, you guys still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to touch base real quick on what you expect from the platform itself. So what we try to do with this specific program, because the diversity of the content, the expert, we can do a blended learning, right? So it's a lot of the online activities gonna through the platform. So you can actually have a profile created for you, look at your certain skill. You have the access to do own activities, material gonna be uploaded for you. It can be gamification, so you're gonna do big activities earn point, badge, all of this fun stuff. But we also have the section like a discussion that you can post the question for mentor, for Tanya, for other team member in your cohort. So you can share your knowledge, and it can be you can review and come back for later. You customize your profile. So all of this good stuff going to be in the platform. So we already talked about blended learning. So this is going to be a little bit of combination of multiple things, online, offline, some self-study part. So it's into diversity content. We also have an app for this as well. So you can actually track your learning hours and on up the interaction on the mobile, because for this specific course, we have people from US, people from Vietnam, from all the country around the South Asia as well. So we have the platform that you can easily to use across the region. Okay, so that's kind of the high level of the platform. I think anything, if you want to ask more, I can fill in. But I think it's more about Tanya explain to you guys right now. I think that's my part, Tanya.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. So let me share back really quick on what this flow look like. Just based on everything I've shared with you, you can understand where this process starts is there's an application process. We'll share with you the QR code so you can scan and this link later so you guys can go and review. So start with, we already have the information session today, and then we'd like you to at least fill in a application process if you believe this is the right thing for you and you will be ready to join this adventure with us. I do have to kind of do an interview, but it's more of a get to know you, and want to ensure that I believe that you will be success in the program for your own sake, for the future clients as well. Like I said, I want to be able to run this program ongoing. So if it's not able to join this year, then we'll start next year. You can start next year with us, right? So keep that mission for yourself, your purpose with you. We will have the kickoff session, as I mentioned earlier. We'll do online. We'll have all the coaches that I mentioned and them to join, and then all the cohort members. So we'll do an introduction and kind of run off what the flow is. As you participate in the program, just note that the fee that you pay does not include your travel costs. So what I will try to coordinate with the on-site program is, again, depending on where most of our participants are, whether you are 50% Hanoi, 50 in Ho Chi Minh, we might have to run two, or we figure out how to bring it together. Or let's say if 80% of the people are in Hanoi and 10% here, then we may have to do more in Hanoi versus here. So we'll work it out. So then my job is trying to minimize your costs. Hence my time spending negotiating with a lot of the mentor coaches. But we still want to ensure that you are able to join some of the immersive session in person, because we need to take you out of your head of coaching online so much into the physical space and being there when we work on somatic body work, right? Like I mentioned, there's a certification program as you complete the program, and then there will be another application to be a paid coach in the executive leadership program next year. Okay. Any questions on the process? Let me answer anybody who have further question. I know I talked to some of you already before the program.
I think I have a question on Tanya on the chat.
Oh, there's a question in the chat. How often in person? Good question. Let me go back to my. It looks like We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About half will be live in person. And yes, it's like I mentioned, we can't train you be in the ocean unless you actually come to be in the ocean and swim in the ocean, swim in the rapid river and stuff. It is an investment for yourself, for your career, your growth. So we hope you guys will definitely consider that, right? Okay, I see another question. Hi, Tanya, we have to miss a session due to prearranged schedule. Is there a way to make up for it? Good question. I think certain topics, yes, like the online ones, we will have it recorded, so then you will be able to follow up and learn on that one. But the ones in live in person with the cohort and the mentors being there, obviously that's not something you want to miss. If you can help it, definitely be there. Okay. Feel free to speak up though. You guys don't have to type. So, okay. Someone mentioned Da Nang. Tina. Okay, Da Nang can be a choice for location. That possibly could be. I am actually going to Da Nang to check out if it's a possibility for us. Trying to find sites that kind of make sense and it doesn't cost people a lot of money to travel to, things like that. So I'm working on ensuring that you guys don't have to invest extra fees, but sometimes it is what it is. So, all right. Any other question? Can we get detailed schedule in person to make sure we can arrange? Yes, during this next week, because we have some of the exec coaches are trying to work through their own schedule. So I will share that spreadsheet or a version of it so you guys can kind of tentatively take a look at the plans. Now, obviously, 3 months from now, anything in September, dates could change. We will try not to, but things happen. So just keep that in mind. That's why I say, I know sometimes we end up changing something and you guys, I plan for and I can't join. We understand that. But the in-person sessions, the one I really don't want to change. So I'm working to ensure that we confirm it at least 90%, no changes. So then you guys can plan to be there. Okay. Last but not least, okay. So these are kind of the dates that I mentioned already here. And this is, please, if you guys can scan this QR code to start the application process. I will get back to everyone, or my team will get back to everyone, whether it is congratulations, thank you for joining, or we may have to have a conversation with you still to see if it's still a right fit for you this year, or I will have a conversation with you or share with you, why I think that you may not be ready yet. Okay, so please just note that it is all for the good of the bigger picture, nothing personal about you or anything about your background. I just want to make sure that you will be successful in the program. That's more of where I come from. Okay. I think those that know me knows that this is really my effort and all this. And like I say, cutting costs, anything I can do, I'm trying to do that very much. Yes, in person, so we can plan ahead. Absolutely, I am working on that to make sure that you guys get the information ahead. Do we need to join the kickoff meeting? Yes, the kickoff meeting is online. So if you can, because I'd like you to be able to also meet your cohort. But make your best effort because you want to meet them to make the connection and learning. I hate to say it's when less is like a family emergency or business emergency, company emergency that you just can't get out of. But what you put in, guys already know this, I don't have to tell you, but just a reminder, what you put in is what you can get out. But if I'm seeing that you guys are already missing first 3 months, not able to make some meetings, I may have to just have that conversation with you and pull you out if you're not ready. Because that is part of that readiness, is being committed to the program, to your own learning more so. Okay. I'm more about quality. Those who know me, I want to ensure that quality is there for you, versus, if you can't manage the schedule this year, then you can wait for next year. Okay. Now I'm going to open up any other questions. Feel free to open your mic, ask openly, no worries.
Tanya, I think someone asked about the certification process. Can you share with us a bit more on that?
Oh, did I miss the question? Sorry. Okay. Can you explain more about certification? The certification basically is us assessing you. The last session, the in-person session, is that you will have feedback from the mentor coaches. It's not a test, but like the last one that you will do in person in the hot seat is where we'll assess your readiness to receive the readiness certification, that you know what you're doing, you can swim, and we are confident that you can. So that's how, there's some criteria, and then of course feedback from the executives that you have spent time coaching. So there's a few criteria that we want to make sure that, again, it's for your benefit more than anything, is that when we say you're ready, you can go to any executives who may be up in arm and storm, or just sitting there frustrated, crying, whatever it is that's showing up, you are ready and you can hold that space for them. Yeah. Can I explain the last process? Sorry, what is the last process we're talking about here? What am I missing? Let me go back. Maybe it's the slide that I have. This one here, the assessment. I think that's what you mean. Yes. So Juliana, sorry. Yeah. So this is what I mentioned earlier, is that we are preparing this cohort to qualify to apply for the executive leadership C-level leadership development program, the 9-month program I'm doing in 2026. We need coaches to be a part of that journey with the executives that will participate in that program. And the process, they will pay us to do the coaching. They will pay us to deliver that workshop and that content. Okay. So
hi Tanya,
yes.
Juliana here.
Yes.
So basically, this you will qualify the coaches as well, right? Before.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Thanks.
to be clear, just because you're in this program and you did receive the certification, there is no guarantee that you will also be selected to be in the full program, be executive coach for that program. I want to be very clear about that. It's not that, it may be because who are the execs we're bringing in. I also need to assess if this is the, if you will be successful in doing that part. So again, please keep that in mind. There's no guarantee when you guys come to this. It's really for your own growth. But like I mentioned, with that, we want to at least build our brand to be able to say, if you have other clients or clients come to us outside of that leadership program, we can still say, yeah, here are the people that went through my program. And they are very high integrity, very experienced enough that they can, we can refer them to you with confidence, right? With money back confidence. That's like, I can do that because I know you guys been through this. But just to be clear, there's no guaranteed, okay, for the next one. Okay. Someone, I think, raised their hand earlier, but I missed you. Sorry. Go ahead and speak up if I missed you. I want to go back to this. Okay. All right. Is everything clear? Somewhat clear?
I just want to, yeah, could we get the schedule just before we apply so that I can check the availability of the dates? Yeah, because there are several dates over the 5 months or 6 months. Yeah, so I need to block these dates beforehand if I apply.
Okay, I understand. I am working to finalize as soon as I can, but again, please note that just because we have the schedule, I cannot guarantee that this is going to be the set exact date, right? Because our coaches, our mentor, things can happen. But I will at least give you guys, say this is going to be what it is for now. And if there's any changes, I want to tell you guys as soon as possible, months in advance, not a few days or a few weeks. I definitely can't work that way. So for me is if someone got sick or something bad, we will have someone else cover and ensure that we keep the date as much as possible. Okay, so give me a few more days by Monday or Tuesday next week. I hope I have that date, these dates set enough to send out the schedule for you guys.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah.
All right, will do. Okay. Oh, okay, Van, thank you for sharing the link as well. Okay. All right. Any other concerns? If not, I think we are good. And I will thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And yes, stay tuned. We have your email, so we'll communicate and send out this information for everyone. Yeah. Thank you so much again for your time. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, chị Tania. Bye, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank
everyone.
you. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.